Hello and welcome back to another debrief with Misty and I. Today we're going to go ahead and debrief chapter 10. It is titled The Three Steps to Whatever You Want to Be, Do, or Have. And as a reminder, we are reading from Ask and It Is Given. So, chapter 10, as it mentions, it is titled The Three Steps to Do Whatever You Want to Be, Do, or Have. I'm not going to focus too much on the steps myself. I will just go ahead and kind of reiterate a little bit of what we just talked about on the previous chapter. And the previous chapter was basically just talking about, us, our emotions and being, highly sensitive and what they're there for, right? Excuse me. So, I wanted to just basically jump into what it says here in this following chapter. It says, once you understand your emotions and the important messages they are giving you, you will not have to wait until something has manifested in your experience to understand what your vibrational offering has been. You can tell by the way you feel exactly where you are headed. So I wanted to just jump on this as a reminder, and for those that probably did not follow our last chapter, that, it is highly, highly, highly important to be as in tune with your emotions and your thought processes as much as possible. And, I would definitely say that coming from a place of the observer as well. So, as all of these things are happening within you, still try to position yourself as an observer. And the reason I say is because that way you will be able to, in a sense, understand your emotions without any bias or prejudice on who you are and your past experiences. It's more like, I wonder why, right? Because an observer is just there to observe, to question, what could have caused this person to do this erratic behavior, or what, or why does this person have such amazing manners? It comes from a place of curiosity more than anything, and when we see our emotions and we place judgment on them, sometimes we start to become critical about how we feel, as if the way that we feel is incorrect. There is no wrong feeling. Is You are absolutely right at all times. Is it the healthiest thing? Is it going to take you to the next level? Are you sitting on that negative emotion for too long? Well, probably, right? There are going to be some downfalls to it, but at the end of the day, you want to be observing how you're feeling and how you're thinking, so that you can have true, deeper sense of understanding with who you are and how you feel. For example, right? Uh Someone is repetitively poking, right? Just a very simple example. Someone's poking, someone's poking, someone's poking. And you might not say nothing because you don't want to fight, you don't want to, and you don't want to be rude. The person's probably having fun touching you, I don't know, but then eventually you explode, right? Eventually within you something happens and you explode. You're just like, what the fuck, what? And a person might be like, damn, like you didn't even tell me to stop before you exploded. But that's a perfect experience where instead of us being like, shit, I fucked up, I shouldn't have yelled, I'm so sorry. That could be a potential, okay, wait, why did I get annoyed? Right? Before you go and say sorry or apologize or make it seem as if your behavior or your reaction wasn't, was uncalled for. It wasn't uncalled for, right? Except the difference is maybe you could have stood up for yourself a little sooner. Maybe you could have voiced that you were starting to get a little frustrated because it's starting to hurt, the same place, you're feeling like maybe a bruise. There's a lot more ways you could have understood your emotion before you exploded. And if you would have understood your emotion, you wouldn't have exploded. We would not have gotten there. It says right here, you can tell by the way you feel exactly where you're headed. They're poking you. You know exactly where you're gonna go. You're gonna explode, right? Eventually, you're gonna explode because of the emotions that you're feeling. But you're not paying attention to them so clearly that you explode instead of understanding, oh, you know what? I'm trying to get here, and here is having this person stop picking at me. So, what can I do right now? Otherwise, we're going to continue to head down the path. The person's going to continue picking at me. I'm going to eventually explode, and nothing ended up working out the way I would have wanted to. So I just wanted to, touch base on that a little bit. And then also, right, it says here the creative process is occurring whether you are consciously aware of it or not. So this goes to show again the creative process, meaning what? You, creation, you are creating. We are in the process every single day, every single minute. We are in that process. This is the journey, right? How we're feeling, how we're thinking is going to be the thing that eventually creates in this physical world our desires, but we are in that process every single day, right? So it says here the creative process is occurring whether you are consciously aware of it or not. That also is for those that say, how come I am talking that I want this, or I'm thinking that I want this, and how come it hasn't arrived yet, right? Because conscious or unconscious, it's working. So, okay, here we go. Why is it not working? Every question is answered. Every desire is given. Every prayer is answered. Every wish is granted. The reason that many would argue with that truth, holding up examples of unfulfilled desires from their own life experience, is because they have not yet understood and completed a very important step. This is where we get to the 3-step process. But basically, step 3, to sum it up, is the art of allowing yourself to receive. So, for example, I could say, man, I'm asking the universe for $1 million. Obviously, I want the $1 million. I am in the receiving mode. But it's like, am I really in the receiving mode? Do I want these $1 million out of spite? What am I going to do with these $1 million? Do I want these $1 million because of the lack that I feel? Right? Is it because I need to pay my bills? I need to pay my car note. I need to pay this. I need these $1 million. Are they coming out of desperation? Or is it coming from a place of imagination of what I can do with these $1 million? And it's not so much, oh, God is going to just open the heavens and drop $1 million into your lap. It's not really what it is. It's, who am I becoming? Why am I not there yet? Right? Why is it that I'm not really able to receive this $1 million? Oh, okay. Well, shit, I wake up with a badass attitude every morning. Why would I get $1 million? Right? And I'm not evolving into anything that is attracting those $1 million to me. I would already be a millionaire for how bad I want them. I would already be a millionaire, right? But what is it? I'm holding myself in a vibration based on my thoughts and my emotions. So if I'm not getting what I'm not asking for, because it's saying here, it is answered every single time, then once again, it allows me to look within and say, okay, here we go again, right? We're here. We find ourselves in this back and forth. I'm not getting it. I've asked for it. What is it that I have to upgrade within myself? Oh, okay. Well, maybe a little upgrade is healthier food to have a more stronger connection with source. Oh, maybe it's a little bit more clarity and I can get that through working out. Oh, maybe it's picking up a book so that I can understand how to manifest my desires versus just calling it out and having no awareness of how to go ahead and attract it into my life. Oh, maybe I need to stop hanging around with certain people that eat up my day, or certain activities that eat up my day, right? All of this is look within, because we just want the skies to open and for it to fall into our lap. But it's like, can you imagine if that happened? Can you imagine all of the things that would be flying down from the sky and the heavens? Oh my goodness, what world we would have if it was answered that way. right? But it's saying, hey, I will give you what your heart desires. But can your heart stay focused on that desire? Or is your heart going to get mad because of the weather? Or is your heart going to get sad when it hears a sad song? It's all about, once again, honing our energy, manipulating, creating within ourselves, no judgment, understanding what's going on. How can we find solution to whatever problem, we find ourselves in? And that's a little bit of what I can go ahead and share in regards to this chapter. I really, really like what it says. And I guess one last thing that I will throw in there is, it basically says here, if you're finding fault with yourself, it's just, once again, just to support kind of what I was saying. It says, if you're finding fault with yourself or another, you are in that moment offering a vibration that does not match who you are. Okay. It's not the end of the sentence, but we're going to stop there for right now. If you want $1 million, how does that millionaire feel? Is that millionaire blaming other people? Or is that millionaire a responsible person that is taking care of their finances or XYZ? Right? If you want to be a millionaire, is that millionaire just blowing their money, not thinking, how can I love the money? How can I continue to grow the money? How can I expand and make more? It's all about in that moment, right? If you are finding fault with yourself or another, you are in that moment offering a vibration that does not match with who you really are. Why? Because who you really are is that millionaire. Who you really are is that millionaire. So why are you acting like you're not? Well, there you go. That's exactly why you ain't going to get it. That's basically what it's saying. And it's so cold and it's so ruthless, but I have to be like that with myself. There's no going around the bush. There's no, oh, Amber, I'm going to be positive Monday, and then I'll be a fucking bully Tuesday, and then I'm going to be, exhilarated on Wednesday, and then I'm going to be funky Thursday. Like, it don't work that way. It's not hot, cold. It's like, hey, let's start warming it up before it boils. Once it's boiled, we're getting there. We're getting to the temperature that we need. So then it says, who you really are, and the negative emotion you feel is your indicator that you have introduced a vibration of resistance. And now you are no longer in the state of allowing your pure connection between the physical and the non-physical part of you. So I just wanted to, have that be the last thing that I talk about. I hope that I was able to clear it up as it. If you guys just knew what happens in my mind, okay? Like in my brain is like a whole bunch of like information shooting at the same time, trying to get out of my mouth. And I'm just like, no, wait, I gotta be selective. So I hope that I am making myself clear. But my love, let us know, what did you get from this chapter?
Thank you so much. We love your thoughts. So thank you for sharing them with us. Let them come out as quick as they can come, and you can put them out there. So for this chapter, before I forget, because you said something that was really interesting as far as we want these things, and then you hear about the law of attraction. So you're like, how come it hasn't happened already? Like I sat down, I did this, meditation or whatever it is that, you heard to do real quick. And you're like, how come it didn't happen like in the 24 hours or whatever? A lot of times it's like this is saying, we're just not in that vibe. We're not a vibrational match. And with certain things, it's not like Amazon Prime now. Like things don't just happen now. And it's like this society too that we are in, we want everything like now. Like everything has to be like now. So it's really kind of stepping away from that and really just seeing that everything that's unfolding is really unfolding as it should for our benefit altogether, especially if we're asking for something. And going back to what this chapter is about, the steps, that the 3 steps you want to be, do, or have, anything that you want to be, do, or have. So step number 1 is you ask. So a lot of times I notice, and I know this is definitely true for me, is that we don't even truly know what we're asking for. Like we think we do, but do we really? Like, what are you really asking for? Did you really ask for anything? So it's really just taking the time out to really sit with your thoughts and think of what do you really want? What are you asking for? And having like a clear um clarity with that altogether, because a lot of times it's very vague. Like I kind of want, I want, like you said, like I want $1 million. Like for what? Like what are you gonna like? You have like no, you just want that $1 million, but there's like no connection. It's just kind of like, I just want it because it sounds cool type of thing. Yeah, those things don't really, and there's no, there has to be like a more of a connection, like that, like those emotions that we were talking about. You have to really feel it all together. So really paying attention, that's kind of what the main thing that stuck out to me for sure is really step one is what are we asking for? Because if you don't really have something clear that you're asking for, you can't expect anything to come up, because anything that because a lot of times people, I feel that are in that state of feeling like they're not getting what they asked for. They're kind of going more so based on things that they think they want, or like it's more like situational as far as like what's going on in the world, and they think they want this, and it's very vague and it's back and forth, it's not very clear. um so I just wanted to kind of stop at step number one, and just encouraging everyone to excuse me, get really clear with what it is that you are truly asking for. And love, did you want to add something? Oh no. You okay? Sorry, I thought she was ready because I kind of like lost it a little bit. There was something else that I really wanted to say, and it just kind of like, whew, I don't know. So I wasn't sure if it went to your brains. I was gonna like, come on, say it for me.
You know what? Fine, fine. I shall have to say it.
Thank you.
So, as you said, man, I loved that you said there has to be some sort of connection. So, like what you said, right? What are you asking for? Being deliberate, but girl, that's the most important is that connection. I think you said it so clearly, stating that you want $1 million and not knowing for what, and knowing exactly why you want $1 million. It's like, it's so obvious who's going to get to the million first, because someone is truly hungry for that. They're so passionate, right, to get there because of the XYZs, right? It's like, I need this because of this. It's like a need. I don't want. It's I need to get to this. And so it's that power. That's the law of attraction. That's that power that whether we're conscious or unconscious about it, that is what attracts us to things. So that same power can be negative. The same power can be, I do not want to, oh, I hate F boys. Yeah, I hate cheaters. I'm so, you're just so passionate about the fact that you want to be with someone that's not a cheater. Just like you said, you don't even know what you want. You don't even know what you're asking for. You continue to ask for more circumstances to prove to you that every single man on earth walking this, godly earth are sinners and cheaters and F boys, because it's what you're asking for, right? It says very clearly whether you're conscious or you're not conscious of it, you're creating. So I love that you said that about the connection, because I truly feel that when you ask, that's how it should feel. That's exactly how it should feel. Don't ask for things that don't have any meaning behind it. Like you said, don't want the Lambo because your neighbor has the Lambo and you're trying to measure your shit. And my shit's a little bit, 1 little inch longer. It don't matter. That's not the right reasons why to get the Lambo. You're gonna get the Lambo and be possibly even unhappy. And now you might even be in debt, right? But you may very well want a Honda, a 4-cylinder, a gas saver, because you commute an hour and a half to work. You're gonna get that Honda way before you get the Lambo. because you have that connection with that car. So I just wanted to, say that. And then here it also says, my love, everything from your subtle or even unconscious desires to clear, precise, vivid ones result from the contrasting experience of your day to day life. And desires are a natural byproduct of the exposure to this fantastic environment, right? The variety and the contrast. So when you don't know, and I love that you said that, because girl, sometimes I don't know what I want. Right? When you tell me I have the potential to have anything I want, like how do I know exactly what I want? But I loved the way that you put it, to have that connection, because that's where the true sentimental value comes, the drive and that force that's going to wake me up one more day and push, that it's going to be exactly that emotional connection. So that is what I wanted to say, my love, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So yeah, so thank you, love. I love it. So as I said, yeah, just the asking altogether, very important. And just lastly, I'm just gonna just re-highlight kind of what Amber already touched on, is going back to the asking, our thoughts, like what we're thinking about, whether it be good or bad. It's that's what we're attracting, and that's what we're asking for. Kind of going back to her example, as far as like, the cheating boyfriend and the F boys or whatever, you know what I mean? Like if that's what we're focusing on, that's what we're asking for as well. So that's why it's so important to really pay attention to the thoughts, pay attention to our emotions, how we're connected to things, and pay attention to what we really want and what we're focusing on, because whatever we're focusing on, that is where we're putting a lot of energy into, and that is literally what we are going to be attracting. So I want to encourage everyone to go out there and start creating amazing worlds and amazing life, and just attracting all the beautiful things and all the abundance that you truly want and that really make you happy, not what's making your neighbor happy, your girlfriend happy, what's making someone on TikTok or Instagram look good, but what you truly want and what really makes you feel amazing and abundant altogether. So thank you all for being here with us again, and continue to share, put your comments in here. I want to hear what you all thought about this chapter, what you got out of this, and how things are, you know what I mean, how things are unfolding all together. We love hearing your comments. We love hearing everything that you all have to say, and we love that this community is just growing immensely. So thank you again, and we'll see you all in the next chapter.